What's up, Chop?
What's up, Q? Today's episode is sponsored by
Amazon Prime and Amazon Video.
Get your 30-day free trial, and you can find the links under the description. Enjoy. And we're live today.
What's up, everybody? This is Q and Chop, chopping it up.
Q, who we got today, brother?
Hey, today we got, man, our friend Priest Jr. What's up, Priest?
Man, what's up? I'm here. How y'all doing?
What up, bud? How you doing?
Man, I'm grateful. Another day.
Other than scores.
Yeah, bro. You know, we stay on the ESPN. Speaking of, man, we got a big time football player in Priest Jr. Man, tell us a little bit about that.
Started my career when I was a little younger. Got into football around like 8 or 9. Knew I can kind of be something, make it out the city. So I kind of taking it serious in high school. #1 recruit in Arizona. Same story. Had plenty of options. Ended up choosing UCLA. Was there in 2.5 years. Good experience. LA was crazy. I kind of was losing focus. I needed to go somewhere more college town focused. Somewhere where I can kind of focus on my craft. So I ended up transferring. Finished out my career at A&M back in 2017. Graduated, did the whole shebang, and then went up with Colts. Had a mini camp there. Did end up working out. Good experience. Had to sit down for a few months. Create a game plan moving forward, stick with it, and trust the process. So, here I am a couple years later. I'm down here in Phoenix, on the cleats up, switched to the business side and more, hustle focus, I guess you could say, in the real world. It's kind of a new experience because people, I feel like, had a head start at what I'm doing right now as far as, in the real world, making an honest dollar. But, I'm just trying to find my place, stay in my lane, and make my game.
So, going from the cleats to the pro to the hustle life, right? But
Yeah.
I wanna hear from you. How was that? How did college football environment help you out to become, the businessman that you want to become today?
I mean, honestly, it was just real easy. I mean, I just kind of looked at my situation and what football did bring for me on the positive side, and kind of just implemented that into the real world, just the blueprint of making no excuses. If I don't have an answer, making sure I can do my best to, come up with that answer, and just following the footsteps of, just working hard and, putting everything into what I'm doing. And that's kind of what I'm doing in the field, whether it's making Jamba Juice smoothies, whether it's folding clothes, cleaning bathrooms, just giving 100, and making sure I can capitalize on every opportunity and not taking it for granted.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Hey, college sports definitely teach us that. Me playing college basketball, man, it really is a kind of a smooth transition into the real world, man. Because a lot of people don't have those capabilities to hustle, and when things get down, they keep going.
Man.
You're down by 20, and you still got to keep going, and fighting to the end, believing that you're still going no matter what the odds are, man. It's good. Sports build that into us.
I mean, it's easy to give up. I mean, that's the easy way. But, if you really, truly love something, you're going to be tested. You're going to be put through a lot of adversity, and you're just going to show how truly you really love it, You just can't quit. But, just putting that same mindset, Mamba mentality into the real world, you can put that in anything that you're doing. It doesn't have to be sports. Ultimately, it's just all about your craft. Everybody hustles different.
Facts, boy, facts. I hear.
Yep. Most definitely. But yeah, to answer that question here, Chapo, I mean, honestly, just implementing that into what I'm trying to do. I don't have anything figured out, everything figured out. That's why I'm an open book, always reading, listening to podcasts, trying to tap into something that, to me, I can see myself doing and enjoying it, not necessarily for the money, but because I love doing it and I'm helping somebody essentially.
Yeah, I definitely understand where you're coming from, and it teaches you, a way of criticism and self-taught. Because you like in the weekends, every Saturday you play Saturdays.
Yeah.
You gotta go and show up and do work, and
Gotta show up.
you gotta show up and do the work. And a guy like you, 4-star recruit, and going into UCLA, then going to A&M. So what brought you? What brought you to UCLA? Like what? LA? You just
Man,
LA,
I
or
mean,
the
I'm
people?
I'm Phoenix, so I'm right here on the West Coast. I mean, it's Los Angeles. Like, I mean, when you took a trip there, everything, it's so easy to sell a dream. But I mean, at Los Angeles, it was, man, my network. I'm still tapping into, everybody I've met in LA. It's
Yeah,
definitely got me to different places there. So I mean, network wise, essentially, I mean, it was a good experience. I mean, it's easy to get lost in the sauce out there. Don't get me wrong, but if you're level headed, you know what you're doing. I mean, LA is definitely a market where you can take advantage of in anything that you're trying to, do essentially, I feel. So that was my goal there. It was a little too much for me coming from, a city here in Phoenix to LA, a big one, but nothing I couldn't handle. I just wanted to get down to a more college focus so I can kind of focus more on my craft. And that's
yeah.
what Texas A&M was.
So when you decided to transfer out of UCLA, what other schools were available for you for at that time?
I mean, honestly, not to sound like, I mean, anyone that I really reached out to, I mean, it was North Carolina, went back to Nebraska, it was Oklahoma State, and then it was A&M. And then, I mean, essentially, A&M just made sense, SEC, big time ball. And then I made the move.
Yeah, and how was your time in A&M?
It was a good time. I mean, it was a different experience, college town, like them Texas folks, it's different. They take their football really, really serious. But it was just a good experience. I networked out there too, also. Aggie Ring graduating, that's a huge network, being an Aggie. But essentially, I mean, it was a good time. There was a college town. I enjoyed it. I took it for what it was. And I grew from, everything that happened there at A&M.
That's a blast, man. That's blessed.
Man, always been highly favored. Always thank my pops, man. He's the one, that laid the blueprint out for me.
Man, your pops is a great man, man. The priest senior man. He's so dope, man. Off the line, off the air, we were talking about him. How we were texting last night, and what, man, like you said, like we talked before, and then
Yeah.
we know that how your dad is. When your dad speaks, man, you just
You
listen.
listen.
Like you don't talk. You listen
You just listen.
because the fire that comes out of that guy's mouth is like, man, let me write this down. Let me tape record. Let me record this. Do something
I know what
because
he's about to
it's
say right
true.
now needs to be on paper. Yeah.
Yeah, like whatever he says about it could be anything, man. It could be like that time that we talked. It could have been about stocks. It could have been out of you know paper airplanes, or it could be the what drink. You just hear him. You talk. Just talk. You just like listen to him, and you give you knowledge.
That's what my dad always wanted me to be. He said if I wasn't going to be anything, football player, anything, he wanted me to be an onion. You could just peel back layers, and just be deep, not just surface.
Dope, man. Yeah, that's a dope man.
Yeah, for sure is.
How much is your network, man?
So man, my network ranges, man, from real estate to the NFL to the dispensary industry to broadcasting. I mean, honestly, I've been blessed to meet a lot of players on the field. I mean, just that brotherhood with football is kind of like a frat for people who are in college. It's just no matter what in time, it's just things that you go through that ultimately just makes you brothers there. So I played with Justin Combs, P Diddy's son. Man, that's a down to earth dude. You would never have thought he was Diddy's son just because of how he carries himself. And so on and so forth, play with big time names in the league, still stay in touch with them. It's guys that reach out to me. I don't really necessarily hit them. They just like, P, how you doing? But that's just, the kind of love that, I've always brought. I've just been something genuine, Q. When you first met me, it's just, like, man, I don't want nothing from it but to see you win. I pray for, people's success more than I do for mine. I just want to see people win out here. So, I mean, I'm able to tap into my network if I do. And if I am able to bring something to the table and it's taken serious, so some people knows that it's not just going to be beneficial for me. is also going to be beneficial for them. But ultimately, just creating that game plan and trying to put it together right now. So I'm just steady right now, waiting until everything cools over. I got some things in motion though, so I'm really trying to really tap into my network for real.
That's dope, man. That's dope. So like, so what? So what you doing now? Like, what's Junior doing right now? Like, what's the future going on for you? What's holding you on right now from the coronavirus? But what are you grinding on right now? Football's gone. Football was there. What's now? This is what the Junior I want to talk to.
Well, I've always been versatile. So I've always seen myself doing a lot of things. Right now I'm in sales, but I came out here to Phoenix. I insurance, got my license, did that. It was kind of cool. I just didn't see myself going door to door, especially in Phoenix in the summer. Come on now. It's just brutal. And then I transitioned into credit repair. Man, it's just been a blessing being able to help people, and credit is so big. And it's just something that's not taught in school. And it's just something I feel like, I've been becoming knowledgeable on, and I've been able to help so many lives since I've been here. Being the number one producer in a big company, Lexington law firm. It's just a blessing there. And it's just something that, I've been in there for less than 8 months, and I've been passing on people who've been there 5 to 6 years. It's just that highly favoredness that I'm telling you about, but it's just also my competitiveness. I'm like, nobody's better than me. Nobody, no way. I don't care if you've been doing this for 6 to 8 years. I'm gonna take over. This is my spot here. But that's just, you might not even know we competing, but we low key competing. It could be just playing Monopoly, chess, anything like that. I always take everything serious. I don't know how to do something 50%. It's either 100 or it's not. I remember I was working out in Olive Garden. It was tough. I was on my way back in North Carolina. Man, I was miserable, but man, I was the hardest worker in there. But essentially, I just I knew man, I need to take my talents. I need to put it elsewhere, something that, can make me a lot of money right now, stack in order to invest that, and generate that passive income. Cause that's the goal, right? Making all this money. It's for nothing if you don't have something that's generating for you while you're sleeping. I mean, come on now, nobody want to work till they're 50. That's not the game. But essentially that's it, man. Just trying to find financial freedom, trying to develop this passive income so I can get my money working just as hard as me, so I can kind of chill, relax, start to build my foundation, my family, and then so on and so forth when I get there.
That's great. That's great that you have that mentality, bro. That Mamba mentality. And we spoke before about this, and it's the way some people act, and the people that don't want to succeed. You see it, and you're like, what the hell, man? Like, why?
What are you doing?
Why don't you wanna? why don't you want to succeed? What's holding you back? What? And I understand not everybody is in the not everybody's in the entrepreneurship at all. I understand that, but even though, man, you might not have to, become your own boss or whatever, but you must try though.
I mean, there has to be something to say to just creating your own assets. There has to be. You can't just want to work for somebody or somebody putting a cap on who you really are and how much you can grow. That's kind of what gravitated to sales for me, at least. Not me. I gotta make what I'm worth, at least right now, while I can, before I can start, growing my own businesses. But like you said, some people ain't
want to be where they are.
You can't. It's just something that you can't. You can bring what's the quote? You can bring them to the water, but you can't make them drink it. But it's some people just ain't got it. That's just why some people pan out, some people don't. Some people, not everybody can be great. There got to be some average people. Not everybody in the world can be great. There got to be some people that fall in line to average and below average. It's just part of the food chain. But as long as you fall in your lane, staying in your lane, only thing you can do is make your own game.
Right. And you got to watch out for those that are average and want to bring you down to their level. Because they will bring you down because they see what you're doing is like,
man,
no, you shouldn't be doing all that, or you working too hard. I hate when people tell me you work too hard. Like, what do you mean? I'm only 26. I'm about to be 27. How about too hard? What do you mean? I'm confused.
What does that even mean?
Do you have a lot of money? Do you have houses?
Break that down to me.
Why am I not working hard?
Man, you just got to be careful. Just because you got to look at who's in your circle and truly see, are they elevating you? Because it's not a circle at that point. It's a cage. You being caged in. So you got to have people around that want to elevate with you, have the same mindset. Might not be in this necessarily the same lane or the same, phone repairs, credit repair, coaching, only, it'd be something else, but you still got that same fire.
Yeah. You gotta come with that fire to anything that you do, man. If you're making cookies, you gotta be the best. You gotta be the best baker. If you're making popcorn, you gotta be the best popcorn maker. You gotta do great. You gotta wake up and you gotta smell the roses, man. Smell the coffee, bro. You gotta do what you gotta do. Until you get your dreams. And then the good thing about you spoke about average and not average and great people is that in this life, right? We all have the same 24 hours. Me, man. You, Q, anybody has the same 24 hours, bro. But the good thing about that is that even though if I was born, let's say I was born broke, you could work your way up and become great. Or someone with a legacy when you die,
Yeah.
It's not like oh, just because I was born broke, I'm gonna end broke, No. You have the same 24 hours as the rich guy in the next door has, and then the next CEO, you got the same hours as everybody has. It's just the way you decide to use just those 24 hours.
Man. That's the only thing that's separating you. I mean, that's when I look back at it, the greats who are in the NFL right now, they were doing more than what was required for us as far as workouts, eating right, doing things. They were doing more outside of that. I mean, honestly, that's a good point what you brought up there. I know broke, I feel like, it's something that happens like broke financially, but when you start to say that I'm poor, you know what I mean? I'm poor on this, that's just all mental. I feel like everything is in a perspective. Essentially, it's just how you look at things, honestly. And I've just always been blessed to think past adversity because I've always faced it, whether it could have been small or big, but I've always learned to overcome it with no excuses, man. Just play the card that you dealt. Stop looking for handouts. Stop looking for somebody to feel sorry for you because nobody really doesn't. I promise you, nobody really doesn't. But they start to notice when you start to really, make something of yourself, really show that, you're really more than what somebody thought you were. But I mean, that's ultimately for me, man, just always continuing to grow mentally. Because if you think you know it all, man, that's when it's over.
So you brought up from the NFL, right? When you were at the Colts, who you learn from when you were in the Colts, right? Who do you learn, from like the players, and like how did they, worked? Ethic work, how did they stay longer? They were, they were cooling down. They were, getting warmed up. They did workout. They stayed longer. What examples can you give us?
I mean, being around the greats, I can name a few: Miles Jack, Anthony Barr, Eric Kendricks. I mean, Josh Rosen's, the receivers, Christian Kirks. I mean, they all had purpose. They just all woke up with a purpose. And they just never steered the course. They just never let distractions distract them. They never let other people outside get to them. They never let somebody tell them necessarily what they could or couldn't do. Just from what I can look at, they just had purpose and they just never quit. And I've seen all of them face adversity at some point, but they just never quit. So it wasn't even necessarily nothing different. They just had purpose. And if you have purpose, you're going to naturally do things that are more than what somebody else is who are just going through the motions. Like if you have purpose, you're going to naturally want to work out outside of what they're doing. You're going to naturally want to do more just because your goals should surpass anything that somebody's normal is doing, I feel like. So, I mean, with me, I wanted to make the Under Armour All-American game when I was in high school. I did 2-a-days outside of school every day for 6 months. And it just wasn't because somebody told me to do that. It was just because I had a goal and I knew what I needed to do to get there, and I just implemented it. So honestly, just moving with purpose.
That's a great.
How you find that purpose in your opinion? Go ahead, like you said, you just wanted it. I wanted to go to college. I wanted a D1 scholarship, so that made me go 2-a-days outside of school and all that stuff. Be the best I can be. So, in your opinion, how do you find that purpose? Like, how do you find your lane and your niche and all that?
I mean, it could come in different forms. Like some people just take in, I got my degree in youth development, and just how they were explaining how creators learn and take in things. People are going to find their purpose in different circumstances and different events. It might come from you knowing your dad when you were younger, and then he disappeared or walked out on you. You might have lost, a family member that was close to you in gang violence that made you want to turn away from it. You might have just, it comes from different forms. For me, it just came, it came honestly from seeing my pops. Like, I'm like, man, he's not an athlete. He's not a basketball star. He's not a football star, but I feel so rich when I'm with him. Like, I feel like I want to be more as a man. Like, that was just really my purpose, because I always knew I was bigger than football. I knew I had to hang up the cleats, but I wanted to be what my dad was for our family. I wanted to be somebody that I can look up as my hero. I wanted to be somebody that was more that when I left this world, that somebody had a long speech about me, so that people could tell stories that really impacted them and made them want to change what they were doing, and just being impactful in people's lives. And that's honestly what my purpose was. So, I mean, I was good at football. It got me to a certain point, but I also touched a lot of lives. And that's why I still am able to network with a lot of my people, just because they know that real is hard to find. And I mean, my purpose is honestly just to help wherever I can and serve. And that's what I'm good at doing. I'm good at connecting with people. And I mean, my purpose is just to, leave an impact on this world, whether I can help somebody who wasn't in a better situation than I was growing up, and able to teach them or able to show them the right way. Whether I go back to coaching, I know it's going to be around helping others, and giving back to my community. But I mean, you just got to find your purpose in what you want to do and just stick to it. Don't care about what nobody says about what you're trying to do. Like, I mean, who cares? Just do what you want to do. Do what makes you happy. And happiness doesn't come financially, I feel.
I think the people that want to serve
forms.
others most are becoming the most successful, most
So
definitely.
I just want to go back to what both of you guys said at the same time. Those 2-a-days, no one told you to do it. Nobody, put a gun in your head like you got to go work out. You guys did it voluntarily, and that's what some people don't have. The mindsets, No, let's work out in the morning, go to school, again, work out back at night. Even though in the real world, right? Maybe you work as an accounting, or you work a 9 to 5 job, right?
Yeah.
Those 2-a-days doesn't have to be go for a run, or go for go do more shots or get my reps in. It could be a night, read a book. You could read a book, an investing book, or a stock book, or a real estate book. And in the morning, wake up earlier, and get some classes done. It doesn't mean that this is what I want to bring up. Just because sports and this, you could do it both ways. You could get more reps in, or more get more conditioning on that. But if you're not in sports, let's say you're working from 9 to 5, you can read a book at night. That's a workout. That's a mental workout.
For sure is.
In the morning time, you can wake up earlier, get the workout in, and then start listening to a podcast or read a YouTube video or read a book again. And then get more knowledge. It doesn't have to be grow. It doesn't mean like just because man, I can't do anything like that. No, you got 24 hours. You could do that stuff. And then that's what I wanted to say. But Q, go back to what were you saying?
I said the people that serve others, bro, that's what be the most successful, most definitely. I think if you're in that business, that's gonna make you the most successful. And just like you said, growing and doing all that podcast stuff and listening and reading, that's gonna make you grow, man. And that's the most important part, really, in this life, is to keep moving forward.
I mean, I feel like people who are successful, like some people I've ran into, are like scared to like give what they know. When it's like, man, like, how could you be scared when you're not losing the blessing? Like, if you're gonna be blessing other folks with what you know, man, it's only gonna continue to grow for you here. And that's just what my thing is, man. I can't lose the blessing. Only thing I can give is what I know and pass it on. I can't eat what you shit. You know what I mean? So I only pray for other people's success more than I do mine. So I mean, ultimately, it's. I have a giving mentality, a loving mentality, man. It just brought me so much success because it's bigger than me. Like I was telling Chop off the line, it's just bigger than me.
Man, that's straight up facts. And yes, at the end of the day, it's about giving. You gotta give back to others that are not as blessed that we are, or not just blessed yet. If I see something that I can help out in any form, for example, I'm gonna give an example of my employees. Every Monday morning, we go in a meeting and we talk about. I ask about them about their weekend and hear them out.
Yeah.
Because I'm not. I don't want. I want them to be cool with me. Not cool. Not just cool, but like open with me. I'm more than just a
Right.
boss. I want them to be successful. I want them to get a higher paying job and all that. Get something real, a career. But that's the little foundation that we start. As people, we tend to use some people use intended to squeeze the most out of you, but the way some people just do it is the wrong way. I feel like if you want to get the most out of your employees, okay, or the people, it's by teaching them. You gotta teach them,
Yeah.
and then by giving back to them too. You just can't. How much can I squeeze out this girl, and then like, they're gonna quit and leave, and then you be hearing that, oh man, Christian not here. And Junior, they're just using us. No, you gotta give back to them. You gotta give back to them for helping you out, and then you gotta teach them. That's the way they're gonna learn, and then that's what they're gonna treat you back.
Yeah.
That's what I feel. And it's a bless. Especially the way you think like that, especially from your pops. Like you said, that man got so many ways of thinking and so many ways of like just coming with ideas, and there's not many people like that in the world, man.
Not at all. I'm just a product of my environment, man. I'm just a 2.0.
So we were talking about Airbnb. So you're what is that your next goal?
I mean, it's something that I want to dip into just because it is part of that passive income that I am looking for. I don't necessarily know if this is something that I'm loving or doing, but I just do know chances make champions. And I do know real estate has made some of the most millionaires in America alone. So I definitely want to jump into it just because more down in there in the South around Georgia and Florida, they're more open to it. And then properties are just a little cheaper. So I definitely want to jump into that. Yeah. So I got a business partner out here that I definitely want to jump into it with, but essentially don't necessarily need them. It's self-efficient, it's automated. You don't even need to be in the same state because, as you know, I'm in Phoenix. But yeah, that's my next move on top of some other things I got cooking.
That's dope. That's dope. I want to reach out to you and I want to see your personal you. What do you have any hobbies that you do like except for fun, or let's say not football, not business. What do you like to do?
I mean, honestly, I'm a homebody, man. I don't really, if I blink about it like that, I don't be doing nothing but just chilling. I mean, I use so much of my energy right now, for just generating, just using my energy just to make profits and things like that. I am tired. That's one thing I don't like. That's why I do want to create passive income, just because I do feel like I am tired, throughout some point of days where I do need to push a little more. So I just need to cut some time back into something else. I can take advantage of that time and getting that time back. But I mean, honestly, I'm big on THC. It's helped me in many ways. So that's my lane that I stick into. But I'm not one that's lazy. It actually keeps me creative and thinking. It's almost like a reverse effect, for me. But essentially, it's just relaxing, growing podcasts. I be in work. I don't do much. I don't have social media. I don't necessarily do anything right now. I just can't. Like I lose sleep sometimes just cause like I'm like I feel like I'm not moving. I feel like I'm just hit a wall. So it's like, man, my brain is constantly going. So I'm always up, just looking into making the next move or trying to just to maximize my full potential. Just like you said, you get 24 hours in a day. Man, I'm honestly trying to milk every 24 that I can. So I mean, it isn't really too many hobbies that I have. Not right now, I should say, but hopefully when I get a little older, it can be some traveling type stuff and some different things like that. But hobby wise, man, just honestly just don't have any. I know that sounds crazy.
No, trust me, I was like that.
That's just where I am now. You know what I mean? That's just where I am now.
Yeah, I was like that a couple years ago. I was mentally focused on what I wanted to do. And then I achieved most of the stuff I wanted to do. So I can relax some. And then it's normal. It's life. You got to relax sometimes. You gotta laugh. You gotta chill and all that. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I feel like once you hit that cigar point, man, it's you living from there. I'm trying to get to that cigar level. I'm not there yet.
Man, once you come back to North Carolina, or I go back to to Arizona, bro, I got you, man. I got you. I got Q too.
We got a nice little bar here.
Hey, I tried to get Q to smoke cigar, man. My boy quit on me the first 2 puffs.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie to you. Hey, he said it's heavy.
Hey, for real.
That's a extreme black and mild. Hold on, I'm like, wait a minute. What's going on here? I can't do it. I don't know how to not inhale. Hey, like that's something new. That's a skill. How you not inhale?
Right.
It's easy, man. You got to put it in your cheeks. That's it.
It sound good.
Hey,
man, smoke is smoke. I don't, man. I'm gonna get used to it. I know there's levels to it. It's levels to it.
Of course. But that cigars, just going to Cigar Lounge, man. I'm gonna tell you guys. It's like you going into a world that you can't find anybody there, man. I have found people. I've traveled around the country, and I've been lucky to stop in and smoke a cigar while I'm there. You can meet anybody from a fry cook from McDonald's all the way to a CEO or VP or president of a pharmaceutical company or Pepsi or anything, bro. You just find the range of people, the final range of people like from I was saying, like the most basic job, like the cooking fries from McDonald's to the president of the pharmaceutical international company. And the networking that you can find there, guys, it's crazy. That's where I actually, like, people tell me, why you go to Cigar Lounge? Wait. I'm like, bro, this is where I go to learn. Like, this is my school, not literally my school, but like, this is where I come, smoke cigars, and people are talking, they have knowledge. Guess what I do? I shut up and listen, and you smoke my cigar.
Every time.
And if I got questions, I ask.
Raise my hand like I'm in school.
Yeah, some like for real, priest. When your dad be out there throwing grenades and all that, you're like, oh man, I'm smoking and listening. And then there's other guys. I've been blessed to go, to Ohio, New York, and just have people listening, and talking. And I'm like, can you say more? Can you tell me more? Can you ask questions?
Yeah.
If people are blessed to say yes, yes, yeah, okay, you got time? Like, yeah. We scramble for an hour or two, just talking about anything, this past week, I was on a Zoom chat. This doctor was talking about the virus, that luckily we both smoke cigars, and I'm like asking questions, and yeah, and then he was going for an hour and a half, and this is the moments that where a Cigar Lounge can give you,
Well, that's the key to life, really.
And that's why I take advantage of it. That's just me.
Sometimes it's better to listen than to talk. So I mean, I do feel that in that aspect, and that's also networking. That's gonna help you grow. Period. So that's that. I mean, I do agree with you, but it's just hard sometimes. Even being with all that smoke, that's not hard.
I mean, what you know can only get you so far.
You know, that's where I met your dad at, at the Cigar Lounge, so, you know, people, you don't know who walks in. It could be anywhere, a coffee shop or the library, and you don't know who's going to walk in that front door.
Yeah.
And it could be, and you can learn from them, and become great friends, So, Priest, are you into books?
The good question to sound good on the line would be yeah, but I've steered away from books pretty recently. I've gotten into podcasts though.
Okay.
I kind of just be on the go, so I might just throw a podcast on. I pretty much listen to my dad's. I'm gonna be 100 with you. If you got podcast suggestions, I definitely write them down with. But that's what I refer more to. Q and Chop, of course. I'm tapped in all the way after today. But other than that, I mean, that's pretty much it. I get podcasts is more. It's more suitable for me.
You learn so much through a book.
I do need
man.
to get back to the books though. It's nothing like
I
reading.
definitely love reading, as you know. Man, I like novels,
Q, come on,
man.
Q, give us your book. What books you read right now?
So I mean, I'm reading this book called Trigger City. It's a thriller novel, and then I got Martin Luther King's The Strength to Love. I struggle with there was some mother of my child problems, so just learn the strength to love throughout all that. And I'm also reading a biblical book, biblical manhood. I read about 2 or 3 books at a time. The keys to biblical manhood and being man in Christ and stuff like that.
That's dope. That's dope. Priest, when, for example, if a kid from high school, a freshman from high school, comes to talk to you about giving them advice, what advice will you give them?
It depends on what kind of advice he's looking for. If he's just looking for, football
Life
advice,
and football.
if he's looking for life and football, I mean, honestly, I'm not one really to give too much advice just because I'm really big on being a hypocrite. So there's a lot of things that I've done that I won't do again, of course, just to see, is this who I am or not? So I can't necessarily tell somebody what to do or not to do, but I can really necessarily tell them just to stay focused. If this is something that you want to do, don't let nobody tell you that you can't. Trust the process just because it might not look pretty in the beginning, but success is not sexy. So, I mean, it's not going to be Beamers and Bentleys all the way to the end. It's going to be the buckets. It's going to be the progression. It's going to be the progress. So just stick with your process, man. And honestly, just have something that you're doing it for, something that you wake up in, because you're not going to forget, because there's going to be times where it's going to get tough. You won't want to quit. I promise you. There's going to be times where you're like, man, this might not be for me, but you just got to remember why you're doing it, who you're doing it for, and if it's bigger than you, man, it's easy. It's clockwork. But
what's the mindset to get through the times you want to quit?
Man, that's pretty much it. I mean, you just have to get it like that. I'm not gonna lie, Q. It's a dark place there. Like it might be different from anybody else. For me, I just had to cut social media off. Like that's why I had to disconnect completely. I had to be able to find out who I wasn't to become who I was. And then I had to begin to understand who I was going to be moving forward. And, this is what I had to implement. So for me, it was just finding out who I wasn't. So, I mean, I had to really understand who I am. So, I mean, it took the stool in the shower, 30-minute showers, the knock at the doors for me. I was just, man, it's tough. I don't necessarily know, what kind of mindset you got to have, but I mean, honestly, you just got to find a way to not quit. Like whatever is in you, whatever thought process you have, just don't quit. Like it's right there, honestly. I mean, but that's easier said than done, of course. I mean, everybody's
that's facts, bro.
Adversity in different ways.
I've been off social media for about a little over a year now, and I can tell you how much more free time I have. My mental is better because I be flexing for social media, so you see a lot of things. People in the same lane as you, and you see them growing up, so exponentially, and it seems like you're just stuck in the same lane. So
Like, wait a minute, why you get to easily comparing your situations? It's easy to do that. I was a victim of that, but it's, just disconnecting. That's why it's just when you stick to your lane, you stick to understanding your process and understand that maybe what you're seeing for them is the finished product. You might not have seen what they went through 5 years ago, right? So you just might be seeing something that they're going through right now. This is their peak. I know for sure that a lot of people, talk down on me and my success with football and everything, but they didn't really see me in the gym. They didn't see me in there, not leaving there till
Right.
6 o'clock. You know what I mean? Damn near can't walk. I'm hopping in the car, catching full body cramps because I wanted it that bad.
you gotta be willing.
I was
willing. People just talk
You
about
feel me? I
mine
was
too,
willing
bro.
to take it there if you wanted
It's
to.
just like they never see what you're doing, and I hate when the people be like, oh, these athletes get it so good. Like, bro, you don't understand how hard we had to work to even get to where we got to get. I mean, I don't know about you in your school, but I mean, in my school, they just talked down on us because they said we got out of it. You had a military at your school too, but I don't think you had to do much of that stuff. Yeah, right. So we had to be. We was in the thick of it, so
Yeah,
we had to
ain't
be in
never
there.
big
And then
military.
people, they just hated us. They hated us that we got over and stuff. But like, y'all done with school at 3 o'clock and y'all good. Y'all don't do nothing else. And we got practice. And then we got to rush to lunch, rush to dinner. Right. And then we got school. We got to do our schoolwork still. Y'all gonna do our schoolwork for us? Like,
my day don't end till 10.
I'm saying.
What?
I'm saying 5:45 workouts, bro. Like,
no.
And
practice.
Y'all think y'all got it easy? Like, we struggling.
Class.
But I mean,
but see, that's why it's a different breed when we get on to this real world. Like, man, I had got a touchdown scored on me with 100,000 fans watching me. My last name on the back of my jersey, and you know what? I got to line up again because there ain't nobody else who's gonna come in this game. Like, and I got to figure out a way to win. And that's just kind of what I brought. I look at everything just, man, finding a way to win. And it gives me chills. I love facing adversity. I'm like, oh, this is what you're throwing at me? Oh, I'm wondering what's on the other side of this once I overcome this.
I mean, that's football mentality. Like you say, line up every time.
I wonder what's behind this right here. That's how I run at it. I address it and I embrace it. Man, come on. I'm a corner. I'm a get beat. Like, I'm going in the game. I'm like, I know he's going to route me. I just hope it's not a touchdown. I hope it's about a 5-yard slant. I hope it's a hitch. But he's gonna give you some sauce.
Right.
Like, you gotta have
the next play playing, brother. I always guard the best
next
player.
play mentality.
Always.
I'm just the next day mentality.
I love guarding that best player because, like you said, he's gonna get you a couple times. You ain't gonna stop him from scoring every single time. But I gotta come back on the offense too. You gotta come guard me. So
come on now.
And that's the beauty of competition, the beauty of this life. Right. Come on now, life, man. And people, like you said, in the real world, man, people are going to be coming at you.
I'm on scholarship too now.
Are you going to push back? Yeah. What's your resiliency look like? And that's the key to life, man. Resiliency, be able to bounce back. Got to.
That's true. If life drops you 5 times, you gotta be able to pick yourself 6 times.
Easy. I was expecting 10. I'm here for the whole shebang.
You might break a leg. I'm still going. Like you got to
give me the whole buffet.
Hey, you have to put me down. Hey, what?
Hey, low key though, I did do that though.
I played on a fractured foot the last 5 games of my career.
I still played.
I won't sitting down. And I had 22 on senior night. Like, I won't sitting down. It don't matter.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something that did sit me down. I had staph infection right after the Alabama game, big game. That sat me down. I'm not gonna lie. I thought I was about to lose my leg.
Wow.
That's kind of what slowed my junior year down. It was like that case only in college football only happened to 3 people. And I was the 3rd person. Like staph infection, yeah. So it was like one of them kind of cases. I was out for 3 to 4 games, man. I'm just thinking like, man, why me? Like, and I was tough. Like, I was losing muscle. I was losing, like, my leg was like, it looks, compared to my other one, you would thought I was sick. I was just, it was tough too, but that's just something I could have felt sorry for myself. Or, I could have rehab extra
there's
hard.
things that in life that's going to put you down and you can't.
That was different right there. That's
you can't do nothing about it.
You can't shake.
Uncontrollables, man.
Man, uncontrollables.
Yep. Uncontrollables, for real. I was out for, supposedly my therapist told me I was supposed to be out for 6 months. but I came back after 4 months because I went hard at it. I went hard at the therapy and and all that. And the bad thing was it was during my senior year, so I had to skip through all the whole seasons. But either way, I still got letters and all that still.
Yeah.
And sometimes it be other life situations, like, Pete, about my mother, the mother of my first child.
Well, man,
and since now I haven't got a real face-to-face time with her since July, bro. And I've been blocked all the time. And
yeah.
I'm saying, bro, like, last time you was here, son, that's the last time she been around. So those uncontrollables too, man. That was a dark place for a while. Just trying to get out, and that's nothing like you can't work out to get out of it. It's all mental, and the mental is the hardest thing to overcome.
That's a tough one right there.
So, man, the mental is the hardest, bro. But
oh my goodness,
right. You can keep pushing your body physical all day long. Did it for years.
You're gonna give up before your
trying
body
to push your mental when you just stuck in a rut. The Lord in the rut, like. Those type of things, man, those things make you stronger. And that's what I believe, like you said, what's the other side of this? What kind of man I'm going to be after I, get finished getting through this? So those kind of mindsets, man. Yeah, man. Those kind of mindsets will get you going.
I can't wait to see what's on the other side of this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Car breakdown. Oh yeah. I know the Bentley coming.
Setting you up.
I know the Bentley coming. It might come 5 years later, but it was coming. It was coming. Other than that, yeah, that's it. My perspective, honestly, just keeping a good perspective has always, at least, I feel kept me highly favored and blessed. Just because, it's gonna be battles here, and I just pick and choose the ones I kind of want to bring my energy towards, and I just kind of steer away from them as I'm getting older. No drama right now, no females, no nothing like that, because I know with that there, I got to be able to not kind of put everything aside for me and invest in someone else. But right now, I'm all in on myself right now. That could have been one of the best things I ever did after I got done with Coach, was just really invest in me, going all in.
Facts, man, facts. Yes, you just gotta work at it, man. And yes, the mental part is the hardest because you don't want to wake up. Trust me, it's hard to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, and go for a run. It's hard. It's hard. Or wake up at 5 o'clock to read a book, or to do some phone calls, or to do emails. That's hard, Just to wake up at 5:30, 6 o'clock. Most people don't want to do that, But people that are willing to do the work now to get the paycheck later, to get that reward, they'll do it. It might not be today, tomorrow, when they get the reward, but it could be a year from now, 2 years from now, and you're gonna see it, You might not see you will see the end result, but you will not see their working that those years of working hard until they reach that goal.
Man, that's crazy. I was watching a video. I was a big Nipsey Hussle fan, and then I was watching a clip where he said he had got signed from his record label off of some old tapes that he did. Like, he made music, was doing his gang banging stuff, kind of went away from towards it. His old music, getting leaked, like some stuff he made a couple years back, and got signed off of that. And that just goes back to show you that, it's the work that you put in, you know what I mean? He didn't think nobody was gonna, listen to, he didn't think probably gonna get signed that. He was back to the streets, and then, he got an opportunity because he did invest that time into something. He did have that there. He did make an asset for himself. But like my dad said, people don't plan to fail. They just fail to plan. What's your plan, man? You wake up, what you got written down? What are you really trying to accomplish? Or are you just moving around? You just one of those people in traffic.
That. Love it.
Because only take one person to create traffic. You just that person who going slow because you don't know where you're going. I hop on the freeway. I'm at 90 because I know where I'm headed.
Hey man, we got that personality, and Priest. But I would like to thank you for coming in, and taking your time. I know you're in Arizona, and it's 3 hours away, 3 hours behind, but I appreciate you coming by.
Man, this is real genuine. I hope anybody listening could be inspired and create something for themselves, and understanding that we all have 24 hours in a day. I mean, nothing's really stopping you from being the next Bill Gates, being the next somebody, or being the man when you look in the mirror that you want to be. It's just, man, faith without works is dead. You got to start planting that seed now. Now is the time to grow. Now is the time to be the person that you told you was going to be yourself at the beginning of the year. Don't wait for that, man. This year we got to be mad at anything that gets in the way. You have to be mad at anything that gets in your way.
Hey, he said it, man. Faith without works is dead. That's what I live by. You got the faith you're going to be something. You got the faith that something's going to happen, but if you don't put the work in, it's never going to happen. It's dead. Your hopes and your dreams are dead. So you got to put that work in always and forever, and good things will come.
Yes, sir. You know, like just like the priest said, everybody has the same 24 hours. You know, the only factor is what you do with 24 hours. Once again, priest, thank you for stopping by and taking our call. And then, guys, thank you for listening to us. Go to our website, go to our social media. We'll be doing more interviews later on. You know, so your quarantine time will be better. And then, guys, thank you again for listening to us. This is Q and Chop. We out.